We're talking to Coach James Webster, the head football coach at Tennessee State University, and he's given us some information relative to last year's season and, of course, some prospects. And, of course, Coach, what I'd like to do now is to talk about college athletes going into the professional ranks. And I know that you've been involved with this from almost every angle. And what I'd like for you to do is to just give us some information relative to what it takes to be successful and some of the things that are necessary that young people must do if they want to go into professional football.
Well, I think that professional football is a lot like any phase of life or any career that you may go into. It's just that I think that the professional athletes a lot more high profile on TV. You get a chance to see them, and they make these very, very high salaries. With all that said, I tell my players all the time, you must understand, number one, everybody wants to be a millionaire. So with that said, that tells you in itself how competitive that it is. It's very, very, very competitive. And there's also a funnel. Funnel meaning that when young men first start playing football, you got this many. But as you start getting up higher to high school, to college, to pros, you know, very, very few guys make it in the pros. Very few, which tells you how elite those athletes are. And I think it's just like any phase of life. You know, one of the most important things, of course, is hard work. You really, really have to work hard, particularly in football, because it is a physical sport. It's a hand-to-hand contact. So your body has to be developed along with your mind. And you have to have discipline, because along with being able to make it there and getting there and getting all the money and the accolades and things of that nature, you have to be disciplined, not to let it sort of go to your head a little bit. You know, it takes a lot of training. You know, even though we as college coaches don't get paid any money when they sign for all the money, but we have to train them. It takes training. It takes a lot of coaching. There are certain skills that they have to develop, which comes through the high school and the college level of being able to develop those skills. And probably beyond that, athletic ability. I mean, you can have a lot of want to and a lot of desire, but you have to have the skills. You have to be fast. You know, you have to be quick. You have to be strong, and that's part of developing yourself. And the other thing too that's now becoming very, very important is character.
Okay, good.
You know, character. That's a big issue now, because too often you pick the paper up and read about athletes involved in DUIs and drinking or assault or drugs and things like that. So now the professional teams, whereas before they used to pay a lot of attention to that, but now that's one of the #1 questions they want to know when they come and talk to me. Hey, Coach, what kind of a young man is he?
Good, that's character.
You know, that's exactly right. You know, how is he going to act when he becomes a millionaire and get all this money? They want to know that, because now, as you can see in the NFL, they're beginning to suspend players for character flaws, you know, DUI or fighting and things like that. And these teams aren't willing to invest millions of dollars in a guy that's going to be suspended every time you turn around for doing something that is not right.
I'm glad to hear you say that. That's a real motivation. It should be, to, if you're going to stay there, to do right.
Yeah, you know, and that's a big issue with them now. It really is. And mainly because in a lot of phases of life now, they're beginning to penalize people for showing character flaws. You know, not doing the things that because whether they want to be or not, they are role models. You hear athletes say, well, I'm not a role model. Yes, you are a role model. You are a role model because this is the field you chose to be in. You are a role model because you are on TV. And these young people see you, and they all want to be like you. They see the athletes in the nice cars and nice homes and nice clothes. So whether these athletes want to be a role model or not, they are a role model. And they need to accept that, because of all these young people, they look up to them, and they see them, and they want to be like them. So it's important that they take the character issues and make it a positive trait of their lives.
Very good. You know, some of the things that we've talked about dealing with the professional rankings, well, how do they make the kind of decisions in terms of selecting these individuals? I mean, you've put a lot of energy into preparing an individual to go to that level, but now what do they do from the NFL?
Well, to make it real simple, you can put it into basically 2 categories. 2 categories being your athletic ability, which would be size, speed, performance, all those things, and the other, character. Okay, I think you can put it into those 2 categories. Number one, they're going to come in and watch tape on you and see how you perform on tape. They have what they call a combine where they invite the top prospects in the country to Indianapolis, where they test them, they run the 40 time, see how strong they are. They do drills in their areas. And the other thing they do is they drug test them. They drug test them to see if they have any illegal drugs.
That's a serious,
yes.
They're concerned about that.
Yes,
That's
of course. They drug test them, and then they also give them a test to test their intelligence for football. They also do